I'm working for trainer, and today I wanted to share my thought regarding an issue, a particular subject revolving around the faith of a person. It's basically faith of an individual that's depicted in science. Or should I put it like this? Faith or science, which is higher in our lives. I thought faith is basically an ideology of a person, a particular school of thought that brings in sense of discipline and gives that person a reason to live a healthy life, a life full of discipline and reason. It's basically an ideology of the person that exhorts him to follow all those paths that have been laid down in those ideology. I say in that particular ideology. For example, a Muslim goes to the mosque, offers prayer. There are Muslims who offer 5 times a day prayer. In the month of Ramadan, we Muslims offer fast. At the end of the month, we celebrate Ramadan in the form of Eid. And then we have the occasion of Bakrid or Eid al-Azha, wherein we sacrifice animal to please Allah. Apart from that, there are several other occasions and ceremonies that are basically part of our religion and faith. In the same way, Christians go to church during Sundays. Christmas is often followed by them as one of the most important occasion and festival, the birth of Jesus Christ, or should I say Jesus, peace be upon him. In the same way, Jews go to synagogue, since that is part of their faith and custom. Likewise, Hindus go to temples to please their God. This is all about their custom, their faith, the faith of an individual. What exactly faith does to a person's life is that it brings in a sense of discipline and gives him that reason, dictates to live by following those ideologies that have been laid down by his faith. Now, when we talk of faith, what we need to understand are certain important points regarding faith. Faith should be so easy and so simple that one doesn't find it very difficult to follow it. When faith becomes, or rather when faith radicalizes itself, or rather should I say, when people radicalize certain faith of his, then it becomes really difficult to follow or to adhere by the standards of that faith. For example, in Islam, we don't have any particular shade of color. For example, there is no color for Shia or Sunni. In fact, there is no reference of Shia or Sunni in the Holy Quran. These days, people do render colors to this sect. For example, white color is for Sunni and black color is for Shia. I thought that is really preposterous theory, a total ridiculous theory altogether. There is no reference of such colors in the Holy Book or in the Hadith. Whosoever does it is doing a great sin and doing a great disservice towards humanity, towards this faith of peace. I thought radicalization is totally undesirable and uncalled for. At the same time, we should always ensure that we try and listen to others, the theory and faith of others, the benchmarks of others' faith, but at the end of the day, always ensure that he or she is adhering to one's own faith only. For example, I being a Muslim, would always be interested to listen to what a Christian priest says, or what a Hindu priest says, or, for example, what a Jew priest says. I would always be interested in listening to his theory. But at the end of the day, I would always make sure that I'm following my own religion, my own faith, because at the end of the day, what really matters is that I'm giving a sound hearing to others' faith, but since I respect their faith, but I'm adhering the criteria, the points that have been laid down by my religion, by my faith, because this is what faith is all about: respecting others but following one's own faith. Now coming to science, what exactly is science? Now science, I thought, is an act of performing a task as per the conventions and rules that have been laid down. For example, if we try and put science and faith on two parallels, we will see that scientists are also a creation of God. They have been created by God. They haven't created themselves, or they haven't come to the earth by any sort of chemical reaction, or by any sort of unnatural activity. In fact, they have been created by God. They have taken birth through the womb of their mother too. So, from this point of view, we can conclude that faith is more important and occupies a greater position than the science, because it is faith that gives birth to science and not the other way around. Secondly, as of now, no scientists have produced any theory of God. There is no theory of God whatsoever. No scientists have been able to do so as of now. In fact, there are references of science in the Holy Quran. It has been said that the earth, the universe, was created within a span of 6 days by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we combine all these points together, we would conclude that certainly faith occupies a superior and greater position than science, and that science is basically a more modern approach of explaining the existence of Allah, the existence of the science of Allah, and or should I say, the science of God. Therefore, I thought science and faith are interlinked and interconnected, and they both go hand in hand. But if we are to compare them, I would say faith occupies a greater position than science, and that science is a more modern, a more educated way of explaining the faith of an individual. Thank you very much.